Again, it takes a good coach with the knowledge of the team and the other competitors to design a strategy. But the second thing that you can do is you can employ a useful variety of race tactics within any given race. You can use hills and gates, all to your advantages or disadvantage. Let me illustrate some of those. The first tactic involves the wind. The wind, of course, is always variable, and you can learn to use the wind to your advantage. The first thing you need to know is that if you keep a 1 meter break between the front runner and the second runner, Alex, get 1 meter behind him, about 1 meter, which is equivalent to one full length, one arm length, put your arm straight out, right? If the runner in second place here is that far behind the first runner, he's going to save 5 to 7% of his metabolic energy. So in other words, he'll be able to run 5 to 7% faster simply by keeping a wind break. Now, most runners inherently know this, but what runners often don't think about is when they've turned with the wind at their back, they've turned around on the other side of the track, or on the cross-country course they turn direction, and they're now going the other way. You guys can swap positions here, this way. By being behind with the wind at your back, you get the benefit of having the wind push you, and the guy in front of you doesn't have the benefit of having a wind break. So in other words, when running either into a wind or with the wind at your back, you're better off to be in second place. Now, there are times when you want to move out from behind him, especially if it's really hot and you can feel your body overheating and the heat just generating off your body. If there's a wind and you move out from the side, then the wind will hit you and cool you down. And then once you feel cool enough, you can go ahead and hop back in. A lot of cross-country courses have hills in them, and a lot of coaches advise their athletes to run hard up the hill. And while that has an advantage sometime, for the most part, athletes are better off to actually run the hill slow. By running slow up the hill, they can conserve a lot of their energy that they can then use to catch the athletes on the top of the hill, and then by being conservative going up the hill, they'll have a lot of energy when it comes to running the downhill. The downhill is really where the distance is made. In other words, the way to use hills to your advantage most of the time is to conserve your energy going up and then to fly the downhill. I'm going to demonstrate that with two athletes here. Now we have Alex and Devin, and Alex and Devin are about the same speed in distance running. And I'm going to have them take off running together around the corner and then to start running up the hill. Alex is going to run hard up the hill, and Devin's going to go easy. Now you notice at the top of the hill, Alex had a 15-meter lead, but he's so fatigued from running hard up the hill that he slows down. And Devin, who conserved his energy going up the hill, by the time they get to the bottom of the hill, Devin has the 15-meter lead. It's also important to remember when running hills, whether running up or down the hill, is to lean forward and to land on your toes. Particularly running down a hill, a lot of athletes tend to put their heel out, which serves as a brake, and momentarily their body is thrusted backwards. But if they lean forward and land on their toes, you'll absolutely fly down the hill and put a lot of distance on your competitors. It's important to avoid a box, whether it be the 800 meters or a cross-country course. Being boxed in can be a serious mistake. Let me illustrate. There's actually a few types of boxes. Let me illustrate them for you. Okay, come on over here. I need one more runner right here and one in the back. Now, essentially, the runner in the rear here is boxed in. She can't escape. She can go around, but if it's on a curve, that's going to take a lot of additional energy. So this isn't the ideal position to be in. But there's a worse place to be in. If this runner is okay now because she's on the inside and there's nobody blocking her, watch what happens when I stand here. She is now boxed in completely. There's somebody in front of her, there's somebody to the side of her, and there's somebody behind her. If she's a kicker and her strategy was to wait till the very end and out-kick her opponents, she's in trouble because she's not going to be able to escape the box. So it's important to avoid the box. One tactic to avoid being boxed in is when you come off of a corner, if I see there's a runner in the first lane and I want to avoid being boxed in, I simply need to raise my arm and slowly or easily extend my arm out so that I can move out half a lane. That way, by the time I catch her, I'm free and clear of her. If you wait until you run up right on her, you might be in trouble. She could come up, establish this position here, and I'm in trouble. I'm boxed in and I can't get out. So it's important to always roll out half of a meter or half of a lane on every curve so that you always have a space. Therefore, pretend there's a runner here right in front of me. By rolling out half of a meter, I've kept her from trapping me on the inside lane. and so that I can get by that athlete. In other words, it's important to look for boxes, to avoid them, and one way to do that is to roll out half of a meter so that you're not trapped on the inside lane. It's important to scout out a cross-country course ahead of time to look for gates, narrow closures, or tight turns, or anywhere in which the path is narrowed. What happens is, you can have a group of athletes who are very tight. Perhaps there's 5 or 6 athletes only separated by a meter of distance. But when they go through a gate or a narrow area or around a sharp corner, they have to spread out. And if you know ahead of time where those gates or corners are, then you can be the first in your pack to get through the gate so that you can be the first out. To illustrate this, I've got the whole team running in a close pack before they hit a gate. And then after they go through the gate, you'll notice how much spread out they are, and you'll understand the importance of being the first to the gate. I hope that this program has helped you think about how you can be more creative in your coaching, so that you can make coaching more enjoyable for you and your athletes. By spicing up runs, by giving objectives to runs, by making the objective of the run simply to have fun, you can help make the team a better, more fun, and more cohesive place. I also hope that this program encourages you to think of new games and new ideas and new things to do on your own, new tactics and strategies, new games and new things to do while running, so that you can constantly be creating, so that you can constantly keep your athletes on their toes, so that they will always wonder what you've got in store for them. I hope this program helped you out, and may the wind forever be at your back.